いらっしゃいませ。何名様ですか？
一人です。
申し訳ございません。ただいま満席なのでお待ちください。
どのぐらい待ちますか？
30分待ちです。
大丈夫です。じゃあ待ちます。
ありがとうございます。お待たせいたしました。こちらへどうぞ。
はい、ありがとうございます。英語のメニューありますか？
ありますよ。こちらです。
ありがとうございます。すみません。おすすめなんですか？
今日はサーモンとマグロがおすすめです。
そうなんですか。じゃあ、サーモン2つ、マグロ1つお願いします。
はい、ありがとうございます。お飲み物何にしますか？
オリジナルコーラありますか？
ありますよ。以
じゃあ、
上で
オリジナル
しょうか？
以上で。
お待たせしました。こちら、マグロとサーモン以上でお揃いですか？
はい、以上です。ありがとうございます。
はい、ごゆっくりどうぞ。
すみません。お会計お願いします。
現金かカードでどちらかお支払いしますか？
カードでお願いします。
はい、こちらサインお願いいたします。
ごちそうさまでした。
ありがとうございました。またお越しください。
ありがとう。
Amazing. Pretty actually long conversation, but you did well done. So welcome to my YouTube channel, Tiana-san. Thank you so much for joining. You just actually finished this Japanese conversation and pretty long, like restaurant conversation. How was it?
It was really good. I was nervous at first, but I feel like I remembered most of it.
Amazing. And especially you just finished the lesson after 9 hour sessions. Tell me about yourself. Why you started learning Japanese? So what is actually the motivation for you?
I've always loved the Japanese culture and I really love anime. So that kind of first got me into
Mhm.
it. And then I actually have a trip coming up in November, so in like a month. So I really wanted to be able to speak respectfully and respect the culture and be able to speak Japanese when I'm there. So that was like the short term goal. But overall, I just really want to learn the language.
Amazing. So you said it's a huge fan of anime. So which one is your most favorite one?
Yeah, definitely it's gonna be Naruto because that was like my very first anime that I've ever watched, and so that's the one that really got me into it first. So that's my OG anime that I love.
Amazing. Have you ever been to Japan or the November trip will be for the first time?
Yeah, no, never been to Japan, so November would be the first time that I go.
Wow. Japan is, especially this 2024, one of the most popular like destination for just for traveling, like a vacation. But it's you are more serious, like learning the language and actually going to Japan is totally different. Most of people actually just go to Japan with the Google Translate.
Yeah.
So what is actually the most motivated or expecting you to really speak the language there, not like just using Google Translate? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm really excited to have, I guess, like that first conversation. It'll be interesting. Hopefully they don't speak too fast. I'm gonna try my best. So I am really excited to actually use what I've learned.
Amazing. You can enjoy traveling in Japan next month and also you can enjoy your entertainment too. But before visiting Japan Language Factory, now you have already confidence like right after 9 hours. That's amazing. But before visiting Japan Language Factory, what kind of things you have tried for learning Japanese? You mentioned the language apps, but can you tell me about like what kind of things you have tried?
So I've tried a couple of language apps. The main one that I'm still continuing to use on the side is it's called Pinzler. So it is based off of conversational Japanese, but like I said, it is scripted. So they tell you what to say and they also always respond the same way. So it's not changing anything. And I also feel like it is a lot more of that formal conversation. So you don't really get to see the both sides of the formal and the casual. That's one of the apps that I mainly still use. Another one that I've used before is Umi, and I think that one
Mm.
was just mainly learning a whole bunch of different vocabulary. So that one has its downfalls too because it just doesn't tell you how to actually use it in a sentence. But they did give you like anime references where they would say the words. But then again, I feel like a lot of the anime they have a different vocabulary when they speak. So I think those are mainly like the two that I would use or have used. But yeah, besides that, just this course now.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So you have used Pinzler, which is like audio training, but it's too scripted to like formal conversation. Maybe
Mhm.
sometimes it's difficult to learn what is a casual conversation, more natural, like just not too formal, not too business style. So you wanted to learn a more casual daily conversation.
Yeah. And also it was just like giving you a whole bunch of vocabulary that I would never use. Like it was teaching me how to say newspaper. But I just felt like it was a lot of conversations that I really wasn't like interested in like having, or I wouldn't see myself having those conversations. So that was, yeah, another point with that. Like I had more questions about other subjects rather than what they were teaching.
All right. So what do you think? What is actually the advice for the people who is thinking to start learning Japanese?
So honestly, I think getting an app or using like a language learning app is a good way to start on your own. I felt like for me before starting this program that like the app really did give me like, a lot of good background on the language and a lot of good basics. So I would say that was a good side to it because when I did start the program, I felt like I knew a lot more words coming into it, which I didn't realize I knew that many words. But once I started talking it through and going through those conversations during the sessions, yeah, I realized that I did actually learn a lot through the app, but there's no one there to help you. So if you have questions, you can't ask anyone, you can't verify if what you're saying is correct because, you're learning these words and you're trying to make up your own sentences using those words, but the order may be incorrect or, it just doesn't make sense because sometimes there's different words used. So I think that's just the downfall of that, where this program definitely really helps me is that you get that one-on-one conversation with the coach and you can ask them whatever you want. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be the culture, the language, how to ask a question. They'll even show you exactly how to do something there. I know at my last session, I had a question on how to even buy a ticket from a train station because I had no idea how to even use a machine. So that was also really helpful. But yeah, no, this program definitely, I think it's a great second step after an app. It really helps you develop that real conversational Japanese. And yeah, I just feel like I would want to continue with, using this program, even for the next level, just to really push myself to get to my goal. And I feel like that, yeah, this program can really help me do that.
Amazing. People actually can't believe you, like, oh, learning Japanese, whoa, it's super hard. In 9 hours, how do you really make a progress? Like people actually sometimes think learning Japanese in 2 months, nah, that's never gonna happen. So what do you think? What can you actually give it advice? It's difficult to really figure out what would be the best learning structure. So if you actually describe it's just a 9 hours progress, how do you actually describe to those people like who is really struggling to find the best way?
Being able to just be motivated. You have to be motivated to want to learn the language, first of all. So if the motivation's not there, it is going to be difficult. But once you find what motivates you, it honestly, it gets more and more motivational when you see that you're learning more and more. So like you start from like not knowing anything and like, after one day you already know like, maybe say like 10 phrases. So that's more than what you knew yesterday, which to me, that's motivating enough because that's like one conversation that you can have for maybe even like 10 seconds. So that's just motivating to me. So just being able to learn more and more every single day, that is very motivational. Just got to keep continuing because, after every day, say even for like a week, 2 weeks, then that's about, we're going to jump to like 50 phrases that you may know, 100 phrases. So it's just wanting to learn more and more. You have to keep motivated.
Amazing. So it's a point of not just passively watching anime or just receiving some information from the language app. You getting out from comfort zone. You actually speak loud and you actually really talk to the native people. It has a fear. Nervous because maybe you feel like you are saying maybe something wrong, but I think the point is to get out from your comfort zone and you try, so you see the actual progress and eventually you really understand what they're talking in the anime or even the people, right?
Yeah, I think once you get out of your comfort zone and you get over that first initial like conversation, I think then again that kind of throws into like the whole motivational part. Once you get that first conversation over with, I feel like it just becomes, a lot easier and easier. And, until it becomes the point where all you really think is, okay, I'm just gonna start speaking in Japanese, which that's the point I want to get to.
Amazing. So you are just beginning, level 1, 9 session, you finish with Chihiro. So now we have even the level 2, level 3. Some people even really become more fluent in the various conversation topics. Depending on how much you become fluent, there are lots of opportunities. So what kind of level you want to reach it?
Yeah, I definitely want to reach that next level too. Ultimately in the future, I definitely want to just be able to understand and be able to just speak any conversational Japanese. Doesn't matter what context it is. I just want to be able to at least understand, 50% of it, and then, move from there, because I know that there's a whole bunch of different types of, conversations, but, it's just putting myself out there, and hopefully, yeah, I can reach that next level and level 2 and be a lot more fluent.
Amazing. All right. Thank you so much, Tiana.
Thank you.